right? First and foremost, we like to give them Yahweh,
Yahweh, Mashem, Mshai,
Bashem,
Bashem,
Makakodash.
Kodash,
We're going to talk to Susan Elazar, great minister, and elect confusion of faith and taking time look like the different motions where they scatter around, right? And we are called that this is sincerity and you could be helped, right? Shalom, peace and safety to you and your family. Brother Bara is my name. This is Brother Kona in blue. What they saying is Brother Pasha from Barbados. Right? So we also have a Pentecostal. The title of this video is that the Sabbath is itself by the moon, right? So go ahead, Brother Kona.
Khan, you know. I would like to start off with the first precept. This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. And Yahweh.
I'll read it for you. You go ahead.
All right, Khan.
This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. And the power said, right? Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
Khan. All right. So the first thing that was already there was darkness, and the Most High created the moon, right, to shine in the dark. Right. The Most High said, "Let this be for signs and for seasons." There's a reason why He created it this way, right? If you can read Sirach 43, 6 to 8, Baba Kosha. You know the main reason for that being because a guy, approached me and was like, the Sabbath is a fixed date, but the Sabbath could never be a fixed date when the Lord specifically says right here in the beginning, Genesis 1 and 14, it'll be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and where's the signs? How we does know when the feast coming in, the new moon feast coming in by the moon? How we does know when Purim time coming and all the different feasts coming is through the moon?
Khan. This is going to forward with quick signs.
Khan.
Right, in the dictionary.com. Right. The word sign is a token or indication. Any object, action, event, pattern that conveys a meaning. Right? It's a sign. Right? A signal. Right? It's also a signal. A signature. To write one's signature as a token of agreement or obligation or receipt. A signature, a signal, to make a sign or a signal. Alright? So let's go to Surah 43. Surah 43 verse 6. It said, great is Yahweh that made it at his commandment it runneth hastily. He made the moon also. He made the moon also to serve in his season, a declaration of times and a sign of the world. The moon was a sign or a signal, right? A signal that conveys meaning. Just a plug in the words that we learned. You just learned the different synonyms that we got to the dictionary, right? It says, he made the moon to serve in her season for a declaration of time and a sign of the world, right? From the moon is the sign of peace, a light that decreases in her perfection. The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the light above, shining in the heaven, in the firmament of the heavens. Right? Anybody have anything? I have things to bring out. Should I have anything to say?
Still again. I know again, plenty feedback on my side. I know what question.
Alright, I will lower my levels a little bit and see if that helps. right? Because it said it said this is a lunar calendar. Let me see if I can play it. Right? So it says when you read back, it says he made the moon to serve in a season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. From the moon is a sign of peace, a light that decreases in full perfection. The month is called after her name. So basically you have the understanding of how the cycle of the moon works, right?
God.
So you
So
see, right here you have the full moon. This is the 19, you have the full moon. So like it might just take a little too long to pull up on the computer, right? So this is the full moon. Now when you watch here, you're gonna go back, right? You're gonna go back. That's approximately 1 week. Approximately 2 weeks, you're gonna come back to what? 0% visibility,
God.
right? This is the full here. This is the new moon, 0% visibility. So what will happen? It increases from 0% visibility to new moon, which is the first day of the month, right? This is the sign of a feast. So I'm gonna go to that sign of that feast. This is Isaiah 66 and 23.
I got that in one.
You go ahead, Ak. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I said I had that picture holding.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead and bring it out. You go ahead and bring it out. I will just explain.
All right. Isaiah 66, verse 23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord.
Hey, to back that precept up, go to First Samuel 20 and 5 because Big Brother Bora just read the precept in Sirach, right? On the new moon, which is the beginning of the month, right? And the feast, the new moon feast. And when David was in Saul province, David also flee on the new moon because he tell Jonathan that he would not be seated with him.
Huh.
This
Right.
Ezekiel 46, verse 1. It said, thus saith the Lord power, the gate of the inner court that looketh toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days. But on the Sabbath it shall be open, and in the day of the new moon it shall be open. Now you know the world still goes by the Gregorian calendar. That's why you saw the other brother brought out the new moon phase up because the month is called after her name. Now you get the word month from the word moon, right? So it basically tell the time by the moon. So when there's a new moon, that means that's the first day of the month. Then from the day you come 6 working days, then the 7th day will be a Sabbath. But the world goes it by Sunday. They always got Sunday as the first day, right? Then you got the 7 days advantage is for them Sabbath from Friday to Saturday. So you see the confusion there? Is right? That place says ask and speak the old past. Jeremiah 8, let me get that quick. Jeremiah 8, not Jeremiah or Job. Or the book of Job, chapter 8. Let's get out of there quick. So right here, Job 8. Job chapter 8, verse 8 for require I pray thee in the former age, prepare thyself to the sins of thy fathers. So we're supposed to go back to learn the true ways of the Most High, not the ways that we talk, or the ways that we cause we're confusing, right? Very, very confusing. So we gotta go back to the root, get it proper understanding. That's what these Christians gonna do. They follow everything that these false pastors push to them. Right? Go ahead up.
This is about precept to bring here fair. This is First Samuel 20 verse 5, right? And I just jumping around in Samuel 20. And David said unto Jonathan, behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I shall not fail to sit with the king at meat. But let me go, that I may hide myself in the field unto the third day at evening. Right? It had eve, but it goes back to evening. because David knew that, hey, tomorrow is the new moon, or tonight's the new moon. He knew he wouldn't be sitting in the preference of the king, because he knew the new moon is the beginning of the Sabbath and the beginning of a new month,
Right.
right? If you have anything to say, go ahead before we done.
Yeah, yeah. And you see how he says, you see his chapter here, it says, and he went onto the third day, showing the first day is with the new moon. You see? Showing the first day is the new moon. So you can't get wrong it. You know what I mean? You can't get wrong it. Can't get wrong it. Go ahead.
Reading on, 1 Samuel 20, verse 18. Then Jonathan said to David, tomorrow is the new moon, and thou shalt be missed, because thy seat will be empty. Right? Jumping down to verse 27. And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month, that David's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan his son, wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to me, neither yesterday nor today? Because David did not really go on because of the Sabbath, you know, because a night and a day is counted as one full, what we will call a day. 24 hours is a night and a day, you know. So David was missing. So when Saul asked Jonathan for David, because Jonathan didn't know the new moon coming, so he knew David ain't gonna be around.
Right.
All right, I have a little stuff. Oh yeah, you had your precept to read. What now? You had finished reading your precept?
Go ahead, yeah, go ahead.
All right. This is not the Donovan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, right? The word month, right? It says month in effect is a synonym for moons. There's a cut.
Yeah.
You know how to get it real quick. I'll get it to show. Right? Let's see if I get right. It says, all right, my camera is like really poor. It says month is a synonym for the word moon. Is it right there? But your camera really poor. You can't really see it, right? Zonabon Pictorial Bible Dictionary. Ancient people signify seemingly universally worship the moon and measure time by it, probably because of its conspicuousness. I'm gonna jump now. It says moon was synonymous with month. It in common parlance in Moses' day, Exodus 19:1. Later, when the responsibility of making the calendar was vested in the Sanhedrin, three of their number, including the chief, were entrusted as watchmen to report the first appearance of the new moon, a declaration of the beginning of a new month, right? Was then quickly dispatched over the country by fire signals and later by messengers. The patriarch Hillel probably introduced the constant calendar, right? The early Israelites designated months by names which they borrowed from the Canaanites or Phoenicians. These names were seasonal. All right, so we're not going to go down into all of that, right? Because the whole the point of it was that the moon means month, right? This is
Hakim.
what?
So like a minute. About David emergency here. No, no getting an accident, right? So again, the David is here.
All right, so like
that she just called me again an accident, right? So again, David is here now.
all right, we'll pray everything will come. Now about Shimon Kakodash Bracket.
Yeah,
Tell a woman come on board. Right? This is First Chronicles chapter 12, verse 32. And the children of Issachar which were the men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. The heads of them were 200, and all their brethren, right, um, were at their commandment. You know, Issachar was responsible and reading the start, right?
Con,
To be able to tell you what time and what signs. That was the tribe that was in charge of that. The children
con.
of Issachar, right?
If I could just bring this quick meaning, right? Because you know they like to use the phrase lunar, right? And a lot of them don't know what lunar mean, right? And
Uh,
I just look up the word lunar on the Google, right? And it say of determined by or resembling the moon. So it goes back to what Brother Barano mentioned, the scripture we read earlier on in Sirach 43, right? It,
I'll bring it
it
back. I have it
says,
right here. Sirach chapter
I,
43, verse 6. He made also the moon to serve in her season for a declaration of times, right? And a sign of the world, right?
read on because it want to say the moon the month is called after her name. Go ahead.
Now, from the moon is a sign of feast, a light that decreases in her perfection. So I show you that from the new moon. Sorry, from the full moon is perfection, right? As the
Can
perfection it actually decreased from perfection, from fullness in about 2 weeks time. It decreased to what? To the new moon, which is 0% visibility,
can
right? And then
can
it's going to take approximately two weeks from that new moon, which is 0% visibility, to what? Fullness or perfection, right? The fullness of the moon, where you can see the full moon, is called perfection, right?
can
It's going to take approximately 2 weeks, right? No, that is actually a sign of the time. And as I just mentioned in First Chronicles chapter 12, verse 32, right? There was a tribe which is Issachar, were formerly known as what, the Mexicans, they were formerly known as Issachar, or the Aztecs or the Mayans, and now they are known as the Mexicans, but the biblical name is Issachar,
can
right?
can
They were responsible for what? For reading the heavens. That's why you have something called the Mayan calendar, right? Because even back in the ancient times before they are known as what Mexicans today, they had the ability, probably they still do have the ability, some of them, to read the stars, to read the heavens, because the Most High, He will put messages, right, in the stars, in the heavens.
hmm,
For example, the Hades comet, it comes around every how much ever years. But generally, when the Halley's comet came around, it was what? Destruction, right? There was some great sign of the time, right?
can
Issachar would have been the try to tell you what's going on, right? You want me to
um
continue to read, or you're saying something?
can I will read out that it to show the month come from the moon come from the word month.
Go
Have a
It
question.
says, from the moon is a sign of peace, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. The month is called after her name,
That's right.
increasing wonderfully in her changing. So you see, it's going to increase wonderfully from the new month or the new moon Salakia. It's going to increase. So it's going to increase from 0% visibility into perfection,
Can
fullness. You
can
understand? It says from the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above. What is the armies above? It's have the angels that control these what the movement of these moon and the stars, right? That's their job, right? That's their job. The angels are control because part of the Lord's army is what, the men, the 144,000. Salakia, part of the Lord's army, because what? How I can prove that? Because he's the Lord of hosts. When you look at the word
can
host, it's the army, right? And then when also the armies is what, the missiles, and then the angels is part of his army, right? The brother come and what brother Kalab Salakia, GMS faithful unto death, says 2 Ezra 6:4. Or ever the heights of the air were lifted up before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys and sands were hot, right? Let me see if I can bring it out here so I'll get a little bit more meat.
I have it here for you now, cause
Go ahead, go ahead.
right. I wanted to say something too because you was talking about the Issachar, right? When the 10 tribes left, is the car had to lead the way, right? If I could just bring this quick before we read the precept from Brother Kalab.
Mm-hmm.
This is second address 13, right? And the point in 44, and I'll read from verse 43. I read from verse 42, that they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. So this here is to prove that Ezekiel was in the 10 tribes, right? Which Brother Burano bring it out in Second Chronicles. That was Ezekiel's gift to read the signs of the heavens. So the Most High calmed the water for it to follow the stars, right? This was their gift. I read a piece of second Address 6 and 4, right?
No, go ahead.
Or ever the heights of the air were lifted up before the measures, Salakia, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys in Zion were hot. Read on.
Done.
And the present years were sought out, and or ever the interventions of them that now sin were turned before they were seen, that have God of faith for a treasure.
Done. Right, yeah. So these instruments, the stars, the moon, they are to signify the signs of the time, right? And the armies above is the angels that cook. They are responsible for them doing what they're supposed to do. When you watch these different UFO channels like Third Face of the Moon, and then the next one you also subscribe to them. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. You sure like you always have chariots going in and out like Saturn into the rings and all these different things. So whatever they're doing, they controlling the different positions of the moon, or the cycles of the moon, or the rotation of the moon, or the stars and the different planets as signs, as a message from the Most High. Right?
Even right.
This was a little bit more on well, the moon would signify the first day of the month and the first Sabbath of the month, right? Should have a little bit more in the Zonabun Pictorial Bible Dictionary, right? It has also days and weeks, right? So I'm gonna read days. The order of the Jewish day beginning in the evening was based on the repeated phrase, and there was evening and there was morning, Genesis 1 and 5. While the Babylonian day, like that of most Near Easterners, began at sunrise, the Jewish day began at sunset. And actually, the demarcation between the end of one day and the beginning of another, as observed by the ancient Israelites, was that moment when 3 stars of the second magnitude became visible. This is confirmed in Nehemiah 4 and 21. So we labored.
I read it.
Go ahead. Nehemiah 4 and 21.
Nehemiah 4 and 21 is here, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Nehemiah 4. Right after Ezra's. Nehemiah 4 verse 21, and it reads, so we labor in the work, and half of them held the space from the rising of the morning till the stars appeared.
Till the stars appear, right? So when we see the stars, we know that the Sabbath come in, or the new day came in, right? It says the days of the week were not named by the Jews, right? So like we have now Monday, Tuesday, well Sunday to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? Those days were not named in the scriptures. They were named by the Israelites, right? But were designated by God. The term Sabbath was not a name of the seventh day, but a sacred designation, right? So the word Sabbath is a sacred designation for what? The day of rest, right?
Con,
Right, so just going to jump across the weeks. Weeks constituted special and significant periodicity units. For the chosen people, the 7-day week is of Semitic origin, right? But reckoned from various reference points. The Babylonians, the Assyrians bound their weeks to the lunar cycle, corresponding with 4 phases, and began anew with each new moon.
con,
The Jewish week had its origin in the creation account of the 7 days during duration and ran consecutively in a 3-week system irrespective of the lunar or solar cycle. This was out of high esteem held for the Sabbath. Conversely, the Egyptian week had 10 days. Salakia. It says astronomical bodies were divinely ordained in creation to be time markers. Days and years were measured by the sun, months by the moon, and cycles by the sun and moon and stars. Right? So some of these things was going off. Right?
con. If I could
So we measure it by the
Salak, if I could just
right.
Salak, if I could just cut you across 1 minute, ask Salak here, right? To
Mhm.
show how these people and them real off, right? To show that the Most High we never name these days, all right? That the man who's saying the Sabbath have a fixed date is so off wrong. Why it is then when the Most High is saying Luke 21, right? Why then had a fixed date on that prophecy?
Huh.
Why then not a fixed date on that prophecy if everything is about a fixed date? The Most High, the Sabbath fluctuate. However the month, however the moon comes, so the Sabbath come, right? If I could just bring out 1 quick minute for your act on Sabbath, right? The word sanctified in verse 3 comes from the root Quadash, and what Quadash goes back to holy, right? Which literally means Salak, where
No, it's a second. Go ahead.
to set as holy. The first place, the word Shabbat from the Hebrew verb Shabbat, meaning to rest from labor. The day of rest is used for the 7th day, is in Exodus 16:23. And if I may just say, right, how we checking it is by the moon. So we are checking it Monday, Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. We are checking it like that. We're checking it according to how the scriptures say to check it,
Huh.
right? We ain't saying that it's a fixed date. The Lord clearly stated here, big brother and myself and brother Yawasap, who just a while left, bringing it out through the spirit. Kwasha, Salak here. Brother Kwasha, bringing it out through the spirit. Go ahead.
Can. This is Mark chapter 2, verse 27. And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore, the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. Right? So the Sabbath was made for us to rest, because when you go into and get the proper understanding, the earth was created in 6,000 years, right? And only 7,000 years, Alahayam, they rested, right?
Can't.
This is go ahead, you ahead.
This is Exodus 20 verse 8, right? I read it down to 11. He said, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, right? Which we know holy means to be set apart from what? This world, to rest your body, rest your mind. But right now we're in this captivity. Even if we home on the Sabbath day, your mind's still at work, because you might be studying, we have bills to pay, boy. We had this to do, boy, and I don't work back this time if I. So that's the reason why they want reason too, that this place had to go. We didn't know on 6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work, right? According to what brother now said, it take the Alahayim, right, in Genesis, it take them 6,000 years to create the earth, But for you simple-minded people, we have to bring it out through edification, through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because you're taking it literal, but not all scripture is literal. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7 days the Sabbath of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai thy power. In it thou shalt do shalakia. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahweh Hashem Yahushai made heaven, which means to be in 6,000 years, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore Yahweh Hashem Yahushai blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Where
This is Ezekiel 46:1. Thus saith Yahweh, power, the gate of the inner court that look toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days. But on the Sabbath it shall be open, and in the day of the new moon it shall be open. Right, the first day of the month and the first Sabbath of the month, right, it shall be open. Right. This is Amos chapter 8. Yeah. Verse 5. It says, verse 4, hear this, O ye that swallow up the needy, even and make the poor of the land to fail, saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn? So the new moon was the first day of the month and the first Sabbath of the month. You can see it, because on the Sabbath you can't sell, right? You're not supposed to sell, you're not supposed to do any work. So it's saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn, and the Sabbath, that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great, and falsifying the balances by deceit. Right? So the new moon was synonymous or parallel with the first Sabbath of the month. So the new moon was a Sabbath. Right?
God.
So they say what it's Isaiah. It was the Isaiah that says blow up the trumpet in the new moon. Yeah.
Packet us back here very quick with a scripture, where you were saying earlier on, because these people might hear we saying how the Lord took 6,000 years to create the earth, and they might feel we saying something that we don't know. But again, we come out here to teach, right? This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 8. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day, just to bring out the edification,
So that, I think that's about it there. Yeah, that was about it there, I think we make the point, the Sabbath is the new moon. The new moon, sorry, the first Sabbath of the month is the new moon. The first day of the month is the new moon, right? 6 days after that, on the Sabbath is the next Sabbath, the second Sabbath of the month, and it goes on until the next new moon. Go ahead.
And the Sabbath is not on no Friday, it's Saturday, because these names of the week come from Greek mythology, right? One goes back to Saturnalia, one goes back to Saturn, right? So when they're worshiping these things, they're worshiping the sun gods, which is Greek mythology. They're not believing, they're not following what Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has written, So for you coons out there who are celebrating or trying to keep the Sabbath Friday to Saturday, you're going off. That is not scriptural.
The Sabbath rule, the ordinance of the Sabbath and the month came in with what? With the moon. That came in with the moon. That's what designated the Sabbath or the month, the moon. Right? The first Sabbath of every month, that was designated by the moon. So the month today is what? Today is what? The 15th of April, right? Right. The first Sabbath came in on what? Last weekend at what? At Friday, at Thursday evening.
Thursday
evening would have been what? Friday would have been the beginning of so-called Friday, Frida's Day, right? I think that goes back to Thor's mother or something like that. Thursday goes back to what kind of bullshit we can remove on calendar, right? But next month, which is May, is gonna be what? In the fourth, it's gonna be Saturday evening at sundown. The Sunday evening at sundown. So it's not gonna be the same thing because what? The new moon is gonna come in at May the fourth, right? The new moon signifies the new month. The word new moon, when you look it up in the Hebrew, it goes back to what? Chodesh. Chodesh, right? Which means first day of the month. Chodesh. Chodesh. Desh. Chodesh. First day of the month. Right? They say what? Asha Chodesh. It's Chodesh or Kodash? Kodash. Kodash. Right? Asha new moon. Right? So that's the book that we pray. I pray that we made the point clear with it on the 85. We give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Kakodash, everyone saw apostles and let's have to give most human citations to the next chapter of 4.85. Shalom.
Shalom.